What up, Bulls Nation? We've got live CHGO Bulls postgame coming up right now. Bulls fall to the Celtics in Boston, 115-101. Tale of two halves. The Bulls dug themselves out of a hole in the third and fourth quarters, but couldn't quite get over that hump to complete the comeback. We'll break it down next. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to CHGO Bulls postgame. Coming to you live from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. CHGO Bulls postgame presented by Michelob Ultra and Bet365. The delicious taste of victory deserves something equally superior. Cheer on your team with Michelob Ultra and download the Bet365 app with code CHGO365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. I'm Peck, Bulls _ Peck. That's Big Dave. Bow. Bam. AWL Sports, Will Gottlieb, Will _ Gottlieb, perfectly coiffed.
A little rusty. I haven't been here in a while.
Kicking the controls, one and only Joey C. Joey, did you enjoy that game?
Didn't watch a second of it, gentlemen, but I've got a beautiful Big Dave Matas Buzelis dunk YouTube short coming out tomorrow morning. That was well worth my time.
That is more important.
Well worth my time.
YouTube short of Big Dave waxing poetic about Matas, like spliced with Matas highlights.
Yeah, just
that is more important.
Endless Matas dunks.
You know why?
But although you know
Dave
what,
being Big Dave,
you missed some solid Matas buckets tonight while doing so.
It's true.
You can't wait
you
to hear about
know what I do like about that? Like, I didn't know that's what he was calling me in there for, as far as to see myself. I just thought he was calling me for the music. But when I saw myself, like, I'm always laughing at it because I never remember any of it that I said. Any of these things. It's always new to me. I'm like, oh, man, that's pretty funny. Oh, I said that? Oh, pretty cool.
What happened? I blacked out.
Right, exactly.
That's how I feel a lot of the time, too.
Yeah, it's all right.
So, gentlemen, honestly, the final score could have been worse.
Yeah.
The Bulls, to their credit, made a bit of a run there, bridging the third and fourth quarters of a game where it looked like they might just be dead at halftime. They were down 21 at half. They had themselves a 14-point first quarter. Then they followed that up with a 19-point second quarter.
Dang.
They said to themselves, hold my beer, after having two quarters where they scored in the teens on Saturday.
There's your beer.
But, I mean, they win the third quarter. They win the fourth quarter.
Yes.
Vooch is balling out in the fourth. Matas is balling out in the fourth. But it was kind of like too little, too late.
Yeah. Too little, too late. A little, I mean, kind of felt like the ass whooping was coming.
Yeah.
I think we knew it was coming that way. The Bulls, like you said, made a valiant effort, to get back into the basketball game in that fourth quarter. The Bulls love playing up or down to their competition. So I kind of expected them to kind of be like that, like not play in the way that you would think that they would play, like you saw against Charlotte, but more so like against Philly, you know what I mean, or against whatever top-tier team they go against, the Knicks or things like that. The Bulls always show up for those kind of games, man. And, yeah, they played tough, but in the end, I mean, Anthony Simons was just absolutely out of his mind, going crazy. Peyton Pritchard was Pistol Pete Maravich out there on the floor. He was going crazy too. But I thought, I mean, kind of starts and ends for me, Matt, with Matas Buzelis and what he did out there on the floor. I mean, he just gives you that kind of hope. I love seeing the 31 minutes. Thank you very much, Billy Donovan. And I know Billy loves seeing the 9 of 12 from the field from that young man and the 3 of 4 from the three-point line. But man, I love seeing the fact that he got to the free throw line 6 times. That's what I love seeing because, again, there's a huge difference between him just barely getting 20 and then, pushing for 30. And that comes at the free throw line. And I'm just really glad that he's starting to see that more and starting to attack more. And the more he does it, the more the refs will start blowing that whistle because I don't think he's getting a lot of those whistles yet, because he's not attacking, more. Like, it has to be a consistent thing. Like, I think about guys like Jimmy Butler. It's how he was eating and thriving when he first was getting off here in Chicago, and he's made a whole career of it, getting to the free throw line. There's a bunch of players you can name just like that. But, yeah, man, the more he does this, the better he'll grow. And now when I see him doing these kind of games, it just makes me ready for that big breakout game that comes from Matas Buzelis, like that either 30-point and 15 rebound or 40-point, 7 rebound kind of game that we get from him, because he keeps flirting with these kind of games right here and looking, pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk about Matas in a second, but I just want to start out with my general thoughts on the game, because
Sure.
I hear what you guys are saying about like them kind of making a bit of a surge there in the second half. Mm-hmm. Like, to me, this was just a completely non-competitive game. You can't just decide to show up, midway or even 3/4 of the way through a game and it's already out of reach and say you tried. Like, that doesn't count as competitive to me. I think that there will probably be people who talk about this as like, some sort of a good effort that they were able to like get themselves back into the game. To me, this game was out of reach basically from when the Bulls took a 3-point lead 9-6 in the first quarter. And then they scored 33 points in the first half. Like, you can't score 33 points in the first half and win a game against a good team. So I don't think this was like a comeback, like anything like that. It was just a really non-competitive game. The Celtics played really terribly too. I mean, you look at the way they shot, 40% from the field. Derek White was 1 of 10 on threes. He was 3 of 15. Jaylen Brown, 6 of 24. Like, these guys didn't even shoot the ball well, and you still get beaten by 14. You were down by as many as 23 because you give up 8 of 14 threes to Anthony Simons. Like, imagine if any of those guys had just made shots. This would have been a 35, 40-point blowout. So I don't think this was a good game. I don't really think there were any redeeming qualities about the game. Matas played, I thought, well. I liked the way he was attacking a little bit, but looking at Matas's growth, I think, is a separate thing than like looking at the game. So there were things about Matas's performance that I liked.
Sure.
Everybody else was basically a no-show, and like I can't like feel like there was any sort of positive momentum from the first half to the second half. Yeah, they scored more points, but like that was a terrible performance from them.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong.
And not to say you guys were like
mentioning that they made a bit of an effort in the second half and that they won the third and fourth quarters did not mean that I was impressed in any way by any of what I saw just now.
And I wasn't accusing you, but I just wanted to.
They made a
had to get that off my chest.
I think the closest they got in that late fourth quarter comeback was what, 10 points?
They did cut it down to it was 10 points. You're right.
Yeah. I think the lowest they got it down was 10 on that IO layup, I believe.
IO played okay.
Always does.
Got those 15 points I told y'all he would.
Flex.
Boy, Anthony Simons hit the threes I told you he would, and then some. But yeah, no, this was, I agree, largely uninspired. This is not like a moral victory because, hey, we decided to battle and we won the second half.
Like, the Bulls are a team that like prides themselves on being physical and playing to their identity, and that just was not there for 24 minutes at the very minimum. Yeah. So like, this wasn't I don't feel like this was a competitive game for them. That was not a good game from them.
I was at the game on Saturday. They scored 30-something points. I think it was 37 in the first quarter. They followed that up with 19, 17, 24, and then 33 points in this first half.
14 and 19.
Which if I'm doing the math correct, I think that's 83 points across 5 quarters.
Yeah.
Come on, Joey C.
Not great.
Come on, Joey C.
And like, I do think I played well. Coby was back. We can talk about him a little bit. He didn't have a great game.
He did not.
This isn't like an individual attack on anybody. It's just like
it's an attack on the team. They suck.
I don't think that you can show up for 14, 18 minutes and like say that was a good game. Even if you did play really well during those 18 minutes, which I'm not even willing to concede.
You're not good enough to do that.
Exactly.
Basically.
Yeah, you're not also good enough to, as Oblivion in the chat pointed out, giving up. You're not good enough to give up 20 offensive rebounds.
Like, to me, that's the kind of game where Vooch would say that this is not sustainable because of the offensive rebounds. 20 offensive rebounds. That's insane.
Which, like, allowed the Celtics to win comfortably despite, as you pointed out, 2 of their biggest weapons in Jaylen Brown and Derek White having really bad shooting nights.
Yeah.
They combined to shoot 9 of 39.
That's bad.
Did Derek White and Jaylen.
That's pretty bad.
And you still win comfortably because the Bulls were like, oh, did you miss that shot? Have another. Did you miss that shot too? Have a third.
They had 18 more field goal attempts than the Bulls.
Oh, I mean,
field goal attempts.
And like so you get absolutely worked on your defensive boards, and you also lose the points off turnovers battle 19-8. Oh. That's just like a double whammy that you can't survive.
Yeah.
If you're letting them score off of turnovers and you're giving them 2 or 3 attempts every trip down the floor, essentially, how are you winning that game?
Yeah,
in Boston.
Well, you don't. And also, as I talked about in the pregame, I was wondering how the Bulls would do as far as points in the paint were concerned, because that's kind of what Boston will say you cannot have. And those points in the paint, looks like Boston won that. I mean, the Bulls won that.
It was close,
36-34.
Yeah, they were taking
basically a wash.
Yeah, basically a wash, and not usually what the Bulls, they're usually in the 50s, you know what I'm saying, when they're getting those kind of points in the paint like that. So I'm just pointing out that deterring was definitely going on for those first 3 quarters, like you're saying. And in that fourth quarter, they kind of, took their foot off the gas and missing a bunch of shots and things like that. And the Bulls got back in it. That's when Vooch started cooking. That's when he started getting his points in the paint again and going on, because big fella wasn't out there. But then when they put him back in the game, all that thing kind of stopped and ceased. And then, you saw what you saw.
They had so many, this is the first time I've really focused in on the Celtics during a game. Last year, they were taking only threes and layups. It was extreme, math ball. This year, they're taking a ton of those short mid-range shots where Peyton Pritchard would drive in, stop on a dime and shoot an 8-foot jump shot. Derek White had a bunch of those. So the efficiency of their game, I don't even think was built to be as good as it would have been last year. But the offensive rebounds, I mean, that just it's so difficult to win in. And so many of those were multiple attempts, where they'd miss a tip in, get it again, miss it, and then kick it out to somebody who would make a three. And like I said, if guys hit their threes, I mean, they shot as a team 38%, made 20 of 52.
52.
So if they're just making, 38% is not bad, but I just don't think 1 of 10 from Derek White is very realistic. Or, I don't know. I felt like that was a game that could have been a lot worse.
No, they
in so many different ways.
Boston took 104 shots,
they probably should have lost by 30 instead of 14.
104 shots is what Boston took.
Yeah.
That's wild business. But when I was watching the game, and I was saying, Jake was over there with us, shout out to Jake. I was saying to Jake, how this feels. I was like, this feels like a 90s Bulls game of, I told you, when the Grizzlies come in town or whatever bum team comes in town, and you don't really truly, you're playing with your food kind of situation. You're like, oh, okay, hey, oh, look at the little fella run. Oh, look at that over there. And then, you take it over, and then it's destroyed, and you go home, and you put your ice bags on your knees, and you go home. That's what it felt like, watching that game. No, you didn't think the Bulls were in this game or had a chance in this game at any point in time. Anything like that. You're 100% correct, Go. And they didn't treat it in that kind of way either, I don't think, Boston. But they missed a ton of shots that we usually see them hit. And Anthony Simons made those shots that they were missing out there, man, because he was cooking. Every time he got that switch on Vooch, it was man, cooked, fried, fricasseed, laid to the side. It was over.
Julia in the chat saying, they came out like the Bears for the first 3 quarters. Ryan Fraley saying, Goat's right. Celtics were ass. What does that make us? More ass? PK Tattoos. Imagine if Brown and White shot halfway decently. Exactly. What the Quaff saying, uninspiring. Jack Broom, what a toilet. Ryan, this product is so uninspired, and that's on AK. Julia, this game was boring. This game is as inspiring as a 9-to-5 job. I guess it depends on what that 9-to-5 job is. I think some people find their 9-to-5 jobs inspiring.
I like mine.
Depends. I hope you enjoy your job, whatever hours and whatever it is with the Quaff. If not, I hope it gets better soon. Bruno, meanwhile, saying Billy Goon of the night for yet another pathetic loss and stupid decision-making. Billy didn't have a bunch of options, I feel like, tonight.
Well, Craigie Jr. got
But that's a thing, just before we go into break, that I think is the point that I'm really trying to hit home here about is yes, the Bulls are missing some bodies. Jalen Smith was out. Zach Collins is still out. Josh Giddey is out. But you can't just chalk this up to injuries when they physically didn't show up for this game. This is supposed to be their identity, is playing hard and showing up with effort and being competitive. And that was a non-competitive game. They didn't roll over and just literally go home for the second half. But this was not a game that you can look at and say, we're building something. That was they gave up 20 offensive rebounds. They gave up 18 more field goal attempts. That is just a non-competitive game that, I don't know. I just don't really see how you can sit here if you're Arturis or if you're Billy and feel like you're making progress with that kind of a game, because that result is even less than the very sort of lame goals that they set for themselves at Media Day, which was like to be competitive. They didn't even do that.
Bruno in the chat saying, bro, it's so sad. Can't believe the Boston Celtics can get rid of their junk players and compete with young, fresh legs. Meanwhile, the Bulls can't do that. Well, you know what? It's because the Celtics are a serious organization. Always have been, always will be. And the Bulls are not one. So sit on that for a second.
I don't want to.
While you listen to some inspiring words and some offers from our friends and sponsors. That'll cheer you up. Hit the like button, too. That'll cheer you up, too. That's free. We'll be right back.
What the quaff? Shout out.
CHGO Bulls is brought to you by Bet365. And right now, with their early payout offer, you are a winner. If your team goes up by 17 points this football season with an instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners. Download the app. Use code CHGO365 when you sign up, because when you do that and then place your first $5 bet on anything, football, basketball, hockey, whatever you like, win or lose, that $5 bet don't matter, because you're going to get $200 in bonus bets deposited right into your account either way. You can use those bonus bets on anything. Spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. They also have something for all you hoops junkies out there with NBA Tip-Off Tuesdays. See for yourself the Tip-Off Tuesday offer. Place a qualifying same-game parlay bet with the safety net bet feature on Tuesday NBA games. That's tomorrow. Get in line. And get up to $10 in bonus bets if that bet loses. I always love a little extra bonus if my same-game parlay just comes up a little short. Here's a consolation prize for you. That's NBA Tip-Off Tuesdays. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 and older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
By the time it takes to finish these awesome ads that you just watched, you can have you a fresh Factor meal ready to go in your mouth and in your stomach, ladies and gentlemen. Because in 2 minutes, yum, 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 as this man just pointed out to you, ladies and gentlemen. So whether you're a meatitarian, shout out Peck, or whether you're a pescatarian, shout out me, or whatever your thing is, they have got your back at Factor. Oh, it is delicioso. Rub the tum. I love when that package comes and I pick it up and I put it in the microwave and I say, yes, Factor is here. Rejoice. Maybe some royal fanfare later. That's for you, GOAT. Head to factormeals.com/CHGO50 off and use that code CHGO50 off to get 50% off your first Factor box plus free breakfast for 1 year. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with the code and qualifying auto-renew subscription purchase. Make healthier eating options with Factor. Yum, 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 yum.
CHGO Bulls postgame rolling along Monday night. Tough start to the week.
Little case of the Monday.
No, man, I believe you get your ass kicked for saying something like that.
Shout out off his face.
Legendary. Peck, Big Dave, Goat, Joey on the controls, hanging out with you, our fellow Bulls fans. Thanks for being here after that one. That was ugly. And you know what? Jenny Gallion in the chat saying, guys, I'm going to bet my house who's hot, who's not. Patrick Williams' serious question. Is Billy being forced to play him? Well, we aren't doing who's hot, who's not tonight. We are going to do a Game Day Difference Maker. But just as a quick answer before we dive into Game Day Difference Maker, I have been saying for a while that Billy's being forced to play Patrick Williams by a certain somebody who signed him to a certain $90 million. But Pat got sent out there by Billy in the first half tonight.
He did.
Then Pat ran around and did his Pat thing. And then Pat finished the game with 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And then Billy went to Dalen. Then Billy went to Julian.
Yeah.
He went to Javon Carter.
He did.
He even had Lockie out there for a dozen minutes.
Craigie.
He even played Coby White more minutes than he was supposed to.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes to not have Pat on the floor.
Yeah, every player you mentioned all scored more than Patrick Lee Williams, by the way.
Lockie had a goose.
Oh, you mentioned Lockie?
Lockie had a goose
you
egg.
mentioned Craigie Jr.
But it's clearly Billy's fault for not playing him. He needs to get into a rhythm.
Yeah.
And then he'll be one of the Bulls' better players. I saw that in the chat earlier.
He did have as many
Whoever
rebounds.
you are. Wow.
He did have as many rebounds as Pat, though. So
well, there you go.
But he's ass.
Let's talk positively at least for a minute here.
Sure.
With our Game Day Difference Maker. We can still have that in the loss. Game Day Difference Maker presented by Game Day Men's Health. Better father, better husband, better man. Go to Game Day Men's Health. Visit GameDayCHGO.com to find locations closest to you. I mean, I know we touched on him a little bit earlier, but I think we can circle back to him here. At least I want to. 9 of 12 for Matas.
Yeah.
From the field for 26 points. Also, as you mentioned, Dave, getting to the free throw line, went 5 of 6 there. He failed me on my 7+ rebounds in my pregame pick, so I'm a little mad at him about that. He did have 2 turnovers, both of which I was not a huge fan of. I think it was Matas, doing a little too much, not having the handles and combination of handles and strength when he was putting the ball on the floor a few different times in that game. But he also, a few different times in that game when he was putting the ball on the floor, went to work. He got tough buckets through contact.
He did.
Inside.
He did.
He hit 3 of 4 3-point attempts. That's great. But right now, I know that he will never be a hesitant 3-point shooter. He's already proven 1 1/3, 1.5 seasons into his NBA career that he'll rise and fire confidently if he's open.
Yeah.
From the 3-point line.
Yeah.
Mid-range,
Yeah.
different story.
Yeah.
Big Dave's triggered about that always.
Yeah.
But what I always want to see more evidence of is his ability to be a 3-level scorer.
Yeah.
And particularly putting the ball on the floor, not having too loose of a handle, and using your size, your length, your steps to get to the bucket and score. And he did that a handful of times tonight.
Yeah. What's the third level of that scoring, man?
The middle part?
Oh, yeah. That part.
The middle part.
Yeah, just check
The
it,
free
just
throw
check it,
line.
You
just
got the
check it.
inside part, you got
Just
the
check it,
outside
just
part,
check
then
it.
you got the middle part.
Yeah, just check it.
He doesn't do that right
Yeah,
now.
just looking at that. Yeah, Matas Buzelis was great. He was awesome. He keeps the sanity high around here. He keeps the sanity high. He does. He keeps the sanity high around here.
Sanity, hanging by
Yeah, he's hanging by a thread, but he keeps it up there. And yeah, I like how he's just kind of falling into this. And when I say falling into, I mean he's getting comfortable, you know what I'm saying, with it, about how he's supposed to play and how he's kind of supposed to go about it, which is why I like how he's attacking. I like the fact he's doing it against these kind of teams. Doing it against Boston is awesome. Doing it against Charlotte is one thing, but doing it against this team who has really solid interior defense, and you're still going inside and trying to make something happen for your team, is great to see. His 3-point shot right now is connected to, and this is my opinion, is connected to how many times and how he goes to the paint. You know what I mean? So if the shot is hitting, I think it makes it easier for him to be like, oh, yeah, I got it going now. Let me get to the paint. Let me go inside, and be a little more physical out there, as opposed to my shot isn't hitting. Let me put my head down and just go inside and try to make something happen. I think his game has been a little bit more smoother. Like, it's been a touch of the smooth on his game a little bit. And that's very fun to see. And I like it a lot, man. Like, Matas Buzelis has definitely been like that for the Bulls.
Yeah, and I mean, just to add to that, I think for me, I would hope that at a certain point that flips and that it should be more about his driving game and less about his 3-point game.
Sure.
And,
sure.
Maybe that it's hard to sit here and distinguish that from our seats. But even taking away the 3 of 4 from 3 for Matas, he was still 9 of 12 from the field, which means 6 of 8 on twos. And he had 6 free throw attempts. I thought the best part about his game was the aggression with which he was driving. He was getting to the rim. He was finishing over the top of guys. There's still a handful of plays throughout where you saw him just get physically pushed around out there.
Sure.
Even trying to drive on Anthony Simons one time, and then Hugo Gonzalez came out of nowhere and kind of knocked him over. He had that offensive foul call on Jaylen Brown, who just walked into him and he just fell over. Those are the kind of things where it's he still has to put on more weight. He still has to get stronger in his core, regardless of how much muscle he's putting on. Yeah. But the skill is for sure there. And I think that's what makes it exciting. You want to see more of the assists and the rebounds. You want to see more of the shot creation. But I just think that the ability to drive, attack closeouts, finish over the top, finish at the rim, finish around guys, those are things that are really going to benefit him as he rounds out as a player. And, I think just the fact that we've started to see some consistency now with a handful of good games in a row is a really good sign.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can start to bump up those assist and rebound numbers to a point where they're more consistent, because he had 9 and 7 the other night. That to me was that, pop the lid off kind of a explosive performance from him that he needs to have more of. So I really like what I'm seeing from Matas. The rant earlier about the team not showing up, I don't really think had anything to do with Matas or any individual player. It's just the group collectively. But I thought Matas was really the only one, with the exception of maybe Io, who I would also put in that category, who really did decide to play. And they were the ones that were trying to get them out of the hole that they were in.
Correct.
Yeah, I was also going to shout out Io as a game day difference maker, because he may not have started, and Billy went with Kevin Huerter being subbed into that starting lineup, as we discussed in pregame, with Jalen Smith leaving the starting lineup because of the concussion, and Coby not being ready to start. So bring Coby off the bench as well. I may not have started over Herter or Trey Jones, but Herter played 20 minutes of this game. Trey Jones played 23. I played 28.
Yeah.
And I think it's because he was out there doing what he could on both ends of the floor.
He was.
Io's, he's not elite, but he's always trying perimeter defense-wise. And then, you saw Io actually get to the bucket a couple of times in those just transition Io opportunities. And they've been kind of getting stuffed a lot more recently. I think guys are wise to it. But he actually switched it up. He left one of those transition buckets today, Dave. But so he managed to do that. He managed to knock down a few threes. Whatever awfulness is going on with the Bulls on any given night, whether it's missing shots, not working on the glass, turning the ball over, or all three, I just feel like Io's going to bring you something every night.
Yeah.
Which on a team where you're just at a talent deficit basically every night, it's got to be appreciated.
It has to be. And, I mean, you can pretty much put it in pen that it's going to be 10-plus points. And you can probably put it in a hard pencil that's going to be 15. So it's just fun to watch him play out there because you know what you're going to get. You can depend on it. You can hang your hat on it, man. It's going to be there and how he's going to attack. And if that three-point shot is falling, it makes it even more formidable for him when he's out there on the floor. And we saw how quick in that first time out that Billy Donovan went to Io DeSumo. Out of that time immediately. He saw what was going on. He was like, nope. Io, I need you out there right now. So, yeah, man, Billy, he has to trust the Billy. But, yeah, he deserves it, man. He's just been really good. He's always been that difference maker for the Bulls, whether they're come out hot or whether they come out cold. Io DeSumo is going to come out as Io DeSumo every single time.
And I think it's totally independent of the scoring. Like you mentioned, the 15 points. That's great, but for me, it's just the fact that he is always downhill. And I know you kind of mentioned that too, but he's just so consistent with it. And that's the kind of play that this team needs on nights, especially where they're just not showing the requisite aggression or competitive effort. Io is one of those guys that is keeping them close to their identity. And a lot of it just stems from his driving ability, getting out in transition and just pushing the ball, trying to get them into their pace. That's how they win games. That's how they're competitive. And I think Io is one of the few guys on the team that when the way that he can play is kind of what puts them into that game or not. And so it's on everybody else to catch up to it. And, other guys have an effect on that too. Obviously, Trey Jones, we've talked a lot about, hasn't scored as well, but still has that sort of fast-paced, up-tempo style that can get the Bulls into their system and into their style. But I think Io's just been so consistent, win or loss, whether he produces or not. That's just who he is as a player.
Absolutely right. For me, man, my difference maker was on the other team.
Okay.
Oh, and that was Neemias Queta.
I feel like that's happened a few times recently.
It has. It absolutely has. Neemias Queta. He was awesome, man. 13 points, 13 rebounds. 7 of those rebounds were defensive. 6 of them were offensive rebounds. Yeah. He had 6 offensive rebounds.
You're talking about his work on the offensive glass in pregame.
Yeah, man. And it's just watching it happen out there on the floor after I discussed it was just there it is. Look at it. You know what I'm saying? Cover your eyes, avert your eyes from this dominance of this young man out there. It was so many times the Bulls were trying to get inside, and you saw the issues Vooch was having, early on in that first, second, and third quarter when he was out there on the floor. He was really just throwing the monkey wrench in the plans of what Vooch wanted to do. Vooch wanted to go up for those hook shots. It wasn't happening. You saw him having to take those three-point shots from the outside because he couldn't go inside to score. It just wasn't going to happen that way for him. So I love the way he played. 6 of 9 from the field is awesome. He's just always around the rim and always just gobbling up the rebounds and blocking and deterring those shots for what teams want to do, man. So the Bulls got back in this not because of getting to the paint. They got back in this because of the three-point shot. That's what really got them back in the game, man, because that dude had the paint on lock.
I'll just go quick. I'm also going with the Celtic here, Anthony Simons. I mean, he had 0 threes made in the first half. And I remember that because I looked at halftime because Matt made one of his pregame picks.
That
Anthony Simons was going to hit 3 threes. And I was worried for your pick, but
he was trying to support
he came through in the first couple minutes of the third quarter.
Yes.
And I honestly do think the Bulls could have won this game if not for just him. Because everybody else in the Celtics was playing that poorly in terms of makes and misses. I don't think the team was playing bad. But his shooting really kept them alive and kept the Bulls at bay.
Yeah. What did he end up hitting? 8 of them?
8 of 14,
8 of 14.
9 of 16
Ooh.
from the field overall.
I feel like I should cash my bet 3 times. Well, no, not 3 times over.
Yeah.
That would be 9.
That would.
And twice over.
Twice over.
Let me get double the payout
2
for being
times.
doubly right.
That's right.
On 3 or more threes
The only
from
thing he
one
likes more
Anthony
than being
Simon.
right is doubly right.
I just dropped him in fantasy like last night
Hey.
because Zach LaVine's healthy.
Great
Back to-
timing.
Let's go, sir.
Great timing.
Well done, Joey
You
C.
just want a little Levine cuisine.
That's it.
All right, we got to knock out another ad break. We'll come back on the other side, dive into more thoughts from tonight's game. We do want to touch more on what we saw from Coby in his first game back after that little 3-game absence. We will do that next. Hit the like button while you listen to these words from our friends and sponsors. The like button's free. It's right there. Hi. CHGO Bulls is brought to you by 4 Seasons. Speaking of those 4 seasons, we're in the winter one right now.
Oh,
It's not the best.
no.
It's not the worst.
No.
You just need to make sure you are prepared.
Yeah.
Is your home's heating up for the challenge of Chicago winter? You better call 4 Seasons just to make sure. Maybe you need a new hot water tank installed. Call 4 Seasons. Maybe you have an electrical emergency. Call 4 Seasons. Maybe you got a plumbing emergency. Call 4 Seasons. Right now, 4 Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric are offering same-day installation for all of your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical and generator needs with no extra charge for nights, holidays, or weekends. Save up to $4,000 on furnaces and comfort systems with 4 Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Furnaces starting at $39 a month. Furnace AC combos, just $57 a month. Call today and save $50 from your trusted local experts. 4 Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric, serving Chicagoland for over 50 years. Visit them, 4seasonsheatingcooling.com for all their special offers and money-saving coupons. That's 4seasonsheatingcooling.com.
You know, when I was at the Bears tailgate yesterday, there was also people right next to us sitting there. You know who it was? It was Gameday Men's Health.
Shout
they were
out.
in the house. We sat, we talked, we laughed, and we talked about the Bears, but then we also talked a little bit about health. And the one thing my man said, he said, I just love selling this so much because I know that it works and it makes you feel good. That, ladies and gentlemen, is an absolute fact. Personal care, they are family and locally owned clinics, extremely high success rate, ladies and gentlemen. You can feel better and have more energy. They got those testosterone shots. They got vitamin supplements. They got weight loss, and they got hair loss treatments, all under one roof. You're in, you're out. Less than an hour, ladies and gentlemen. You will feel better, fellas. I promise you. Start your best life with Gameday Men's Health. Scan that QR code on screen or go to GamedayCHGO.com to find that location closest, guess where? To you.
CHGO Bulls rolling along with our post game here on Monday night after the Bulls fall to the Celtics, and with that fall to 17 and 19.
Uh-oh.
2 games under.
Uh-oh.
Sometimes 3.
Almost that sweet spot.
Sometimes 4.
Oh.
Always 3. Sometimes 2.
Hey.
Be a combined 3 games under over the last 4 years.
Jesus
That
Christ.
is magical. Honestly, give AK a goddamn medal for that. Medal.
Because they were
piece of
40 and
metal.
42 and then 39, 43, 39, 43.
Jesus.
They go 40 and 42. Sometimes
You know
2,
who's not
sometimes 4,
always somewhere between 2 and 4 games under 500?
but always.
The Bears.
Bears.
Before we dive back into postgame, wanted to make a quick note right now.
That's sad.
For those of you out there who are members of Bulls Nation, but also Bears Nation,
Bears.
couple of things. Bears, Packers, playoffs, Saturday night,
Yeah.
CHGO Bears tailgate,
Yeah.
best tailgate in the city, will be popping off again. It's starting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Joey? My God.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock for a 7 o'clock kickoff. Joey's gonna be there,
Joey
working
City
hard, running
barbecue.
that tailgate life like always. I might be there. I don't know.
should.
Peck flex.
All of our CHGO Bears crew is gonna be there,
yeah.
and it's a great time. Come on out. Also worth noting, and some of y'all in Bulls Nation probably realized this last night when the NFL released its wildcard schedule. Bears Packers
Yeah.
Saturday night, 7 o'clock kickoff.
Yes.
Bulls Mavs Saturday night, 7 p.m.
Yes.
tip off.
Not
These are
Marshall.
happening at the same time.
Daniel Gafford.
Yeah, that name, Cooper Flagg.
Cooper. Oh. Daniel Gafford. Cooper,
Daniel
who?
Gafford, Bulls legend Daniel
Daniel
Gafford.
Gafford.
So we also have a Blackhawks game at 7 o'clock that night. It is a crazy night for Chicago sports fans.
A lot happening.
We weighed some options. We batted some different ideas around. I think we've come to an idea and a consensus. It's going to be Bears Mania here at our CHGO headquarters across the entire city of Chicago, the tailgate, and all on Saturday night. I don't know how many people are going to be watching Bulls Mavs on Saturday night. Maybe the people that got multiple TV setups, the man cave, the garage, wherever, the basement. Kudos to everybody who has a multiple TV setup. But we thought because the Bulls and CHSN are running a rewind broadcast of Bulls Mavs, matinee 2:30 Sunday.
Yes.
And we've already got 2 other games, teams, pre-games, post-games being juggled here between Bears and Hawks. We decided to bite the bullet.
Yeah.
We're going to do a delayed re-watch-along of Bulls Mavericks Sunday afternoon as it is being re-aired on CHSN so that we can fully invest ourselves in that game.
Yeah.
Cooper Flagg's first NBA game at the United Center, all that good stuff, without being distracted by the giant meteor that is, oh, dear God, Bears-Packers playoff game.
Yeah.
So that's what we're deciding. Hope as many of you, if you need to decompress from a Bears victory over the Packers, and talk some other sports and watch some other sports, we're going to do Bulls Mavs on Sunday. So that's the plan.
It will make the Patrick Williams performance, come what may on Saturday, all that much sweeter, right?
Are you guys gonna? So I'm still gonna go to the Bulls game on Saturday night. It's a home game, but so I won't. I guess what I'm asking is, are you guys going to watch or know the score of the game on Saturday, or are you going to try to prevent yourself from seeing the score, not watch the game?
Cone of silence. Interesting.
And cone of silence.
So I am sure because we will be wherever we are and like plugged into the world of sports because we're watching Bears-Packers, and because I'm always getting alerts about the Bulls on my phone 24/7 every day and night all the time. I'm going to find the score, but I will not watch it until we all gather here on Sunday to watch it. I think that's my plan.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That is the plan. That is my plan also.
What if there's a trade that happens during the Bears game? Are we going to do a lot?
What are you doing
I'm just kidding.
now?
I'm just kidding.
What are you doing?
Well, we technically don't have the studio capability for it, but
Will the Go Gottlieb the villain
try to figure it out.
They're not making a trade during a game, guys. Don't worry.
Anthony Davis?
ain't making no trade.
Anthony Davis, hey.
They just look at it, they say, stay right here,
from the
sir.
visitors' locker room to the home locker room.
Like, stay right there, young fella.
He's going to be cheering for the other team.
That's true. Oh, that's a good point there, Will the Go Gottlieb. He will be cheering for the other team, the losing team.
If he, obviously, not a guy who plays every game.
Right.
If he is at the game not playing and wearing a Packers jersey, he is going to get booed extremely hard by whatever fans are there.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of which, our friend Julie in the chat said UC is going to be empty, and that's what I am wondering about. Like, unless the Bulls and the NBA somehow convince themselves and the Mavs to like adjust this tip-off time for a set and change it to a Saturday matinee because Bears-Packers is happening at 7 o'clock over on the lakefront. Like, who's going to be in that building?
It's going to be some fans there.
Other than like Jerry's grandkids. Who's going to be in that building?
It's going to be a couple fans.
I have a legit Chicago sports media question for you guys.
Sure,
Hypothetically.
Bears. As my answer before hearing the question, Bears.
Here, you know exactly where I'm going. What story would happen that the Bulls would actually bump whatever it is the Bears are doing on Saturday? What would need to happen? Like
on Saturday?
Yeah. What would bump
this Bulls team or any Bulls team?
Or like go back to the. No,
I don't think there's anything this team.
Yeah, print journalism days. What would bump the Bears off the front page?
I mean, if it was like during the Jordan years, they're probably.
Well, yes. If the wild card weekend of the NFL playoffs happened at the same time as the NBA Finals, when they in the future change the calendars of these two different professional sports leagues,
like Bulls trade for Giannis on Saturday, does that bump them off the front page? The quote unquote front page of Bears?
No.
I don't think so.
Bears-Packers playoff game? No.
I honestly don't think so. Yeah.
I don't think so. Not this. No, this is too crazy.
Split.
It would have to be like the Luka
top side
trade.
front page, underside front page, obviously. But
what he said though, it would have to be like the Luka trade,
where it just came out of nowhere. And it was the worst trade in NBA history.
And I mean, Bruno
Like
in the chat saying
Max
Bears is more
Christie
important than the Bulls.
Luka.
I'll take that to the grave. I think most people would agree that this is first and foremost a Bears
And
town.
2027 first. Don't worry.
Okay. All right.
It's a Bears town, first and foremost.
Bears.
We know that.
Yeah.
We also know that Bulls fandom is global, and we love that about this team that we all cover and talk about obsessively, and that there's a different facet to that, whereas maybe to a lesser extent, the Bears have international fans. Our CHGO Bears crew have international Bears fans hanging out in their chat regularly.
Shout out
but
to y'all.
It's not quite the same thing as the Bulls being a global brand.
Yeah.
As far as the Bears being a global brand, but here in Chicago, there's no question. Like if the Bears are good, this is a Bears town.
Yeah.
100%. Even when the Bears are bad, this is a Bears town.
Yeah.
When the Bulls are good, this city goes crazy for the Bulls.
Yeah, nuts.
When the Bulls are just a little bit kind of good, this city goes crazy for the Bulls.
Bananas. Yeah.
When the Bulls are in the play-in, they go crazy for the Bulls.
Yeah.
They do have, you guys, I'm telling you, the United Center during the play-in games is electric.
That's fair.
Imagine if they made the
rocking.
actual playoffs.
No, the UC is usually rocking, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
Bulls fans do a good job of showing up.
They
no matter
do.
what.
I don't know about the team, but the Bulls fans do a good job of that.
Yeah. What's up, Getting Committee? I see you. Yeah, I stand by that.
I heard you.
I wonder what the crossover is between members of the Giddy Committee who are also Bears fans.
It's not.
There's gotta be a couple.
Giddy Committee is already saying that we don't want to hear this Bears talk in here.
Sure. Okay.
He's not here
cool.
for that.
Well,
in
CHGO
Australia.
stands for Chicago.
Yeah.
And the Bears are about to play the biggest game in the last 15 years?
Yeah.
On Saturday?
Yeah.
And we care about that because we are all also Bears fans.
Yeah.
And the Bulls played like doo-doo tonight and lost to a team that also played like doo-doo tonight.
And real quick, Giddy's got Chicago on his jersey, Giddy Committee, so I'm respectfully as I can, man. We care about this stuff so much here in this town.
Bro.
So, dude, just relax, man.
Yeah,
just
man.
relax. We care about this. He's got Chicago on his jersey, man. That's why we're rooting for Josh Giddey. We want him to succeed, too.
We want him to succeed.
For sure.
But we got
like,
other stuff in this town.
It doesn't change the fact that when it comes to me ranking my Chicago sports fandom, Bulls will always be here.
Yeah.
Because MJ in the glory days, they will always be here.
Yeah.
And the Bears are a very right underneath them too.
Touching each other.
Thin line. Thin line.
Thin,
but that
right
being
here.
the case, and the Bulls who are 2 games under,
Yeah.
nestled comfortably in that 9th seed last time I checked, playing a regular season game.
Still there.
At the same time as
confirm.
Bears-Packers playoff game at Soldier. First time they face each other in the playoffs in a decade and a half. First time the Bears have been this real relevant in just as long.
Yeah.
Which game do I care about more? That's a tough test.
It's a serious one, man, and I can't wait to watch it. Honestly, I can't wait to watch it and see it, and just be absorbed in that. Because I remember the last game, the Bears-Packers game, with the miracle comeback with that incredible pass from.
I remember that too.
Yeah, it was special, right? Special time. But just how everything was rocking, you know what I mean? Like I want to be, engulfed in that again. So, yeah, it's happening. This is how we're going to do it. But we're also going to be covering the Bulls. That will not stop. We will do that watch along. Please come join us for that.
Of course.
And yeah, come join us. Come get up in the chat. Talk. We can talk about whatever you want that's going on with that game. What's going on with the Bears victory that's going to happen. All of it we can discuss.
And everything else this week will be normal. We're going to do a live pod tomorrow, 4:30, about the Bulls. We're talking Bulls.
Yep.
Uncle Will's going to be here.
Uncle Will.
Then we've got a back-to-back of game nights Wednesday and Thursday. We'll be here for pregame. We'll be here for postgame. Talking Bulls.
Only when
we
I'm
just
not
wanted
here.
to let y'all know what the
Never
plan
wants to
was
see
when
me.
we get around to this weekend when there's a big old football game in town.
Maybe huge special NBA trade primer coming this Friday, too, as well. Everything that you need to know about the NBA trade season. There's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, do you guys know what the date today is?
The 5th?
January 5th.
You know what happens on February 5th?
NBA trade deadline.
NBA trade deadline. We are a month away.
A month away from
Over under
holiday.
0.5 trades for the Bulls that go down on
Under.
Did you
February
say 0.5?
on February 5th. Yeah.
Oh, Bulls trades on February 5th?
Over under 0.5.
Under.
Do waived players count? Waiving a player.
That's a transaction, not necessarily a trade.
No, I'll say trades.
Yep. Okay.
Traded
Under.
players. You're going under?
Under.
Yeah, I hate that I think Dave is right, but I think Dave is right.
I think Dave's right.
I think AK will make a trade,
Yeah.
but I think he will do it before the deadline.
Yeah.
Because I don't think AK wants that kind of stress in his life. Because I don't think this dude ever wants to do anything that's stressful about this job. I don't even he's gonna have to come out and explain whatever he did or didn't do in his twice a year press conference on trade deadline day.
2 times.
And I think that enough will be stressful for him. He's not gonna do that press conference and complete a trade in the same day.
It's a lot of work.
That would overwhelm the poor man.
Yeah, I kind of think it'll happen a couple days before. I think there'll be one trade. I think the Bulls will make one trade. I think it'll happen 2 to 3 days before the trade deadline.
Yeah.
And I think
Would
that
you
will
like
be
the
all.
trade?
I doubt it.
Okay. All right.
I'm always relatively unhappy with
That's a very fair point.
with the state of affairs.
That's a very fair point.
So.
I just don't see it happening, bro. I just don't. I don't see it happening. And if it does, it's going to be something that I just truly despise, and I got to tear up the set again.
Well,
and scare people.
If it isn't Coby, like truly, like who is it?
Right? I don't know.
That's a good question. I think Coby said ABQ Drea just now in the chat. Well, so I mean, let's use that opportunity to actually like talk a little bit about what we saw from Coby tonight, but then also that larger conversation. Coby obviously struggled in his first game back.
Yeah.
2 of 7 from the field, 1 of 5 from downtown. Turned the ball over 4 times compared to his 3 assists. I wasn't expecting some giant performance from Coby, especially on a minutes restriction, especially coming off the bench, something that he has not been accustomed to for a long time now, dating back over his several Bulls seasons. He has almost always been holding a starting spot for many years now. So maybe he was just like a little bit uncomfortable, rusty, still trying to figure out how much he trusts that calf tightness, and had a rough night. Him having a rough night is not necessarily shocking to me or even discouraging to me when you're talking about just one game. The bigger worry to me now is if the Bulls are deciding that they are ready to move on from Coby and see what they can get for him at the trade deadline, as opposed to paying him the supposedly upwards of $30 million a year that he is seeking on a multi-year deal as a unrestricted free agent this upcoming summer. What kind of display are other teams looking at when it comes to the play of Coby White right now? Through the first half of the season, he's missed time with a calf. He's come in. He's looked so-so. He's had big games. He's had bad games. He's had blah games. He's missed more time, and then, rinse, repeat.
Well, it's weird because I think we all know how Coby kind of goes about it. It's always been a slow start, injury or whatever. It's always been a slow start to the season that he picks up around the All-Star break, and then after that also he continues on that way. So, like, late January into February is where he usually, kind of kicks it off. We know that's thing, but I think more so to the point you're saying, those GMs aren't watching every single Chicago Bulls game. So they're like, okay, we know you're supposed to be that guy. We're looking at you now. Our eyes are fixed on you and your game and what you're doing, and it's not, connecting with what we want right now. Could be that way. This is all speculation, obviously. So I think, Matt, they just want to see him look like the Coby White that they have on their sheet of paper, or the Coby White that they have the highlight reel of, or the Coby White where they pulling out his best performances in his game. They want to see that guy who is worthy of getting this kind of money. They want to see that kind of performance from him. He hasn't done it completely yet, and obviously, like I said, he's usually a slow starter. The injury isn't helping anything at all. Also, Billy Donovan playing him over his restricted minutes is pretty hilarious to me. And wild business. What's the point of putting a restriction if he's going to go over it all the time? But, yeah, he has to play a little bit better for this team, man. And by a little bit, I mean a lot better for this team out here, because calf injury or not, it's a huge season for him, man. And at some point in time, he's got to turn it on, and they got to let him go. We know he won't be playing these back-to-backs. He'll stay out of that situation, but he has got to turn it on at some point in time, man. He's got to drop that 30-point performance consistently. He's got to be that guy that teams have on the whiteboard consistently. He has to show that he is that guy for the Chicago Bulls and is the one that carries them in that fourth quarter, again, consistently. He has to consistently show that stuff going forward.
Yeah, and it's just been hard with the calf.
For
him to get out there as much as he would want, and then I think also to play to the level that we saw him play last year. I don't expect him to do whatever numbers he did during the month of March when he was Eastern Conference Player of the Month. I think it was like 30 points per game. He doesn't need to go that nuclear, but I do think he needs to be more consistent with his shooting. Yeah. He needs to be lower volume with the turnovers. That has been a bit of an issue for him this year. And I think he just needs to get his feet wet a little bit more. Like, he just hasn't really been able to get a rhythm. Now, he's been in the league long enough that I do think people kind of know who he is as a player. And so I'm not really worried about tonight's performance. I think it was like 5 points, 2 of 7 shooting. So, not a good game. First game back. I'm not like holding that against him by any means, but I do think that the league's going to want to see him get up to something closer to what we saw last year, and even really at times this year before anybody makes a trade. I still think he is. I guess there's a lot of smaller guards around the league that are losing value because teams want to play more physically. They want to be bigger. They want to be longer. They don't want to have guys that can get picked on. And I think Coby is 6'4", 6'5". He's strong. He's sturdy. He's not like small like some of these other guards where he's just going to get like completely, he's going to become obsolete that way. So I do think that after this year, he'll get a big contract. I'm not sure exactly how much. But I think that because he's still that quality and because he's only making $12.9 million this year, teams will be interested. I still think the Minnesota Timberwolves are a really good fit for him because, one, they pay their players and they just consistently like bring guys back, but also because they have matching salary that they can send out with some interesting young prospects that the Bulls probably like. They don't have any draft picks, so that could be a problem, but I just don't know that the Bulls are going to get this sort of haul back for him that they might be hoping for because he's expiring. Had they done this time last year or over the summer, maybe that changes, but it was difficult with the calf. So I don't know what they'll get back for him. I do think that they're going to probably want to avoid getting themselves in a situation where they have to be in a bidding war, and this is not a restricted free agent. So they will lose him if he signs a contract elsewhere. They don't have matching rights the way that they did with Giddey, and they could kind of hang that over his head and prevent teams from giving him an offer. Any team can make Coby an offer as long as they have cap space, and even teams that can't, they could work out a sign and trade with the Bulls. So it's really up to Coby more than it is up to the Bulls, and that's why I think they're going to try to get out ahead of it. Now, it's probably too late to really like maximize the return, but I still think that they will attempt to move him. At least that's what the league is trending or signaling right now. I just don't know exactly what it'll be for, but I don't think they're going to want to get themselves trapped here where they could potentially lose him for nothing.
Hank Rodriguez in the chat pointing out that Coby's handles have regressed this year and that it's his worst turnover rate ever. Coby does have a career high turnover percentage right now of 15.3 this season. Substantial jump from his turnover percentage of 12.4 last season, which was the third highest of his career, dating back to when he had 13.9 his second season. His usage percentage has also jumped considerably from 24.4 last season all the way to 28.6 in his 16 games so far this season.
But I think teams know that, like, if they're trading for Coby, they're not putting him in a situation where he's the primary ball handler.
Right.
And he's the one that has to control everything.
I think you're looking at him as a microwave scorer to add to your playoff rotation.
Or a secondary scorer who can play next to another primary guy. I think that's what Coby's best skill set is that he can do both of those things. But I just don't think whoever trades for him is going to be over-indexing on his playmaking. I don't think they're trading for him to be the number one option. And so you're maybe a little bit less worried about the turnovers and the assists and stuff like that, and more worried about the ability to attack closeouts, the ability to shoot off the ball, move off the ball, defend, and not get picked on. Those things, I don't really know that his performance has sort of impacted that one way or another. Now, he does have to be able to do those things. He needs to be able to lead second units. He needs to be able to be a secondary playmaker. But I just don't think that, to your point, Matt, that they're really looking at him as somebody that they're going to put the ball in his hands and he's going to run 15, 20 pick and rolls per game.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a different version of the player that Dave talks about Coby and the consistently inconsistent thing all the time. Yeah. You don't know which Coby you're going to get. Shout out Mama Gump. Like, and when you're talking about this guy's trade value and the fact that he is now expiring, as Jeff Rock just pointed out of the chat, as did you, Goat, like Jeff Rock said, you'll be lucky to get a second-round pick for him. That's why, and it's not like Coby had his Eastern Conference Player of the Month before last season's trade deadline. You know, when he was in March and he cooked up 27.7, 4.7 boards, 3.7 assists on 49.5, 38, 88 shooting splits. Yeah, that was Coby last March. Incredible stuff. Yeah, but even in January, he was putting up 19.5, 4.5 dimes on 49.5, 42 from three, 87 from the line. And you still had him for one more full season on a team-friendly dollar figure if you were to have traded him and trade for him last season's trade deadline. Yes. Which is why some of us were pointing out that may have been the right way to go, considering that the team otherwise was headed nowhere.
Yeah.
But no. We must keep Coby to go to the precious play-in tournament. We cannot get to the play-in tournament without Coby White. And now, as Go points out, as Jeff Brox pointed out, if you do finally decide you don't want to pay Coby White the next big truckload of money contract, Patrick Williams, then now you're going to trade him for nothing.
Ass.
It's like there's no foresight whatsoever with these people.
Yeah, it's just whatever's in front of your
None.
face. You know what I mean? There's no. No, sorry, go ahead. Go.
No, I mean you're right.
Yeah, excuse me.
I do think that they'll get something for him. I just don't think it's going to be multiple first round pick value. I think it'll probably be around decent first round pick value, but the Bulls might have to also take back some money, which I don't know that they're going to want to do. But I'm just thinking about the Wolves here again.
Yeah,
something along the lines of Mike Conley and Johan Berenger gets them there, saves them some money. You can buy out Mike Conley, waive him, and let him go to a contender. You basically get the equivalent of a mid-first round pick this year. Or maybe they try to get Terrence Shannon Jr. back. I wouldn't be as interested in him. Same with Rob Dillingham. But that kind of a thing where it's like the equivalent of a first-round pick, even if you don't necessarily get a first-round pick. Ideally, you'd be getting unprotected pick in there or at least multiple swaps in addition. But I just don't think that they're in a position where they can really ask for that. It does just take one team, though. If somebody comes in and wants to make a strong offer and there are two other teams that are interested, now you've got yourself a little bidding war going and you can try to extract more value. But I think it's just going to be hard to do that with him playing the way that he is, even though I don't think he's necessarily going to be in that kind of a role with whatever team he does end up going to.
Can I throw one out to you? And I've asked you this before and you shut it down, but I'm going to do it one more time.
I'm going to shut it down again. Just
That's
kidding.
right.
Well, no.
Double shut
Trailblazers technically in the play-in game right now. Coby for Scoot. Scoot can be unrestricted in 2027. I know that he's hurt right now or he's not in the rotation. I mean, so he's not really a piece there, but that's a buying low on a guy that maybe could be something for the Bulls.
I think I would do that as the Bulls. Yeah. I was a big Scoot fan in that draft. I had him, I think, second on my board, which he didn't even go second, but I don't think he would go second now in a redraft by any stretch of the imagination. No. But I still think he's got a lot of upside. I don't know what the fit with Giddey would be long-term there because he's really like the point guard of the future at this point. But I think they just need to take swings on talent and high-level talent. And even though Scoot hasn't really panned out, and he hasn't even played this year, he's been out with some sort of a strain or muscle, some sort of soft tissue injury.
Yes, correct.
That's the kind of talent that the Bulls should be going after.
Yeah, agreed, 100%.
Fine Day saying, reality is if we can get a first from any of our players, it's a deal now. And while I agree with that notion, I don't think there are any such players on the Bulls roster right now. You know who might get you a first?
Who that is?
Matas. Mm-hmm. If a team out there really likes what they see in him. Mm-hmm. But
teams aren't trading high upside rookie scale guys in their second year. Like they're just not doing that.
And I'm saying, but like I think that he's
the
who
only
would get you the closest to a first round pick in a trade right now.
No,
when
I
you
agree.
are looking at the Bulls assets on the roster. You ain't getting a first for Vooch. You ain't getting a first for Coby at this point, I don't think. You're maybe attaching a first to Patrick Williams in a trade. Maybe they get a first for Javon Carter and his expiring $6 million.
Catching strays with nothing out there.
Hey,
Mr. Stay Ready out here, baby.
Immediately knocked down a couple of threes. There's your game day difference maker, Dave.
That's right, baby. Hit
Javon
2 threes.
Carter.
2 threes out there. Stay ready because he ain't got to get ready.
Billy smashed that Javon Carter glass early.
That's right, baby. Always ready is Javon Carter.
My goodness.
Yeah, this team doesn't have those assets that other teams would be willing to give up theirs for.
Yeah.
Those future assets like that. Just like you said, they have no foresight. They're built to have no foresight right now. So other teams, when they see them, aren't going to give you that foresight. They're going to say, oh, no, you're built to say, take this contract, take this said player with this big contract, a year left or something on it, and get up out of here with yours. And that's kind of how they're built and kind of how they've been rolling in these past few years is when it comes to that trade deadline and things they want to get.
I mean, the way that they would be able to extract value in some of these deals is to take on longer-term money, which I don't think they want to do. And or to move guys who have longer-term contracts that are team-friendly, like Trey Jones and Jalen Smith, who are under contract this year, next year, and in Trey's case, there's a team option on the third year. That's a very valuable contract. He's exceeding the value of that contract with his play this year. That's the kind of like low money longer term security that teams would be looking for. But I just don't think that they have any interest in getting off of that kind of a contract.
Yeah.
Even though I think that would be the closest thing to getting them some sort of good value or combining those guys. The expiring contracts that they have, Herter, Collins, Vooch, I just don't know that you're getting a lot of positive value. Maybe you can help offset some things or swap money with the team. But again, that's not just saying, you guys want Kevin Herter, give me a first round pick for him. It's, all right, you can have Kevin Herter, but you've got to take back this guy who's got 3 years of money on his books, and then we'll give you the first round pick.
All right, no need for overtime tonight because that game was gross. And don't worry, we'll be right back here tomorrow at 4:30 with a live pod. Uncle Will, 4-time champ, is going to be with us to get some of his latest thoughts on what the heck is going on with this team. Maybe we'll do a little plus minus as well. In the meantime, follow the GOAT, Will_Gottlieb. Read his stuff, allchgo.com. If you want to read all of it and the very best of it, become a diehard. Promo code GOAT so you can read all of that diehard content. Big Dave Bow, BWL Sports. I'm Bulls_Peck. We are CHGO_Bulls.
Yeah.
Shout out to our king of the controls, the one and only Joey C.
Hey.
Loving that Bulls Celtics action tonight. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow afternoon, Bulls Nation. Hit the like button on your way out. Make sure you're subscribed. Appreciate you. Love you. See you, Red. Be good.
Yo, Yuli, James, Jimmy, Daisy. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
Names.
Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.